Powerlifting is a sport composed by three main disciplines called lifts. They are, in order, squat, the bench press, and the deadlift. Each athlete has 3 attempts with 1 minute per attempt
to start the lift.
There are 3 referees, and each of them give a white light in case of a good lift and a red light in case of a no lift.
The athletes are separated per weight, age and sex category. The sum of each of the best attempts per lift builds the total, and the athlete with the bigger total is the winner. In case of a draw, the lighter lifter wins.
The squat is the first movement of the competition. On that lift, the use of the legs and the back is extremely important. Once the athlete stands erect with his knees locked and the bar on his back, the central referee gives the squat command. The lifter then bends his knees and lowers his body until the top surface of the legs at the hip joint are lower than the top surface of his knees. He then comes back up, locking his knees and hips in order to complete the lift. The central referee will then give the rack command, and the athlete has to put the bar on the squat rack. There are 3 main mistakes to avoid in order to not have a no lift on the squat. First, if the athlete isn't standing erect with his knees locked at the beginning and at the end of the squat event. Second, if the proper competition depth isn't reached at the bottom of the movement. Third, if the athlete doesn't complete the lift with a single upward movement, meaning if the bar goes down during the ascent of the movement.
Hello and welcome to the 2023 IPF World Classic Sub-Junior and Junior Powerlifting Championships here in Cluj-Napoca, Romania, the heart of Transylvania. I'm Amelia Potter, and this evening for you, we have the 84 kilo and 84 plus kilo categories here in the juniors. And if you look at the running order here, we have some really exciting numbers coming up for you. It will be one flight of 14 lifters, jumping between both weight categories. And we count down now to load the bar for the first lifter. Tomorrow is the last day of lifting. This is the last female session we have this championship, so stick around for some quality lifting. Ecem Ocaliki of Turkey, 115 kilos. Three white lights, that is a good lift. $115 kilos remains on the bar for In Ki Chong of Singapore. Just 2.5 kilos below her max. It's nice and deep. An easy looking opening attempt. 3 white lights, a good lift.
The bar is good.
155 kilos for Talor Ayegbeni of Ireland. Talor still has 1 year left as a junior. Has only been competing for 2 years. Moving really nice and quickly. 3 white lights, a good lift, and plenty left in the tank for Talor.
Next is Jackson, trying 160 kilograms for the United States of America. The bar is ready.
160 kilos for Antara Jackson of the United States. She's been competing for 5 years. This is just 12.5 kilos off of her best. Looks nice and easy. 2 to 1, a good lift. Just gets a depth call from the right hand side. This is the side she gets a white from, but I think she'll be okay with that. It looks good to me. Seems like she's enjoying herself as well, which is always lovely to see. 165 kilos for Camilla Savorani of Italy. Just been told to re-rack there. Saying she needs to be more upright. Gets the start command. And did not phase her whatsoever. 2 to 1, a good lift. Gets a depth call from the left-hand side referee, the side we can see on the camera here. I think she'll be okay. 170 kilos for Mina Holmfjord of Norway. And 3 white lights, that is a good lift. Melina Arawo of Great Britain, 172.5 kilos. This is Melina's last year as a junior. Projected 2nd overall. And that was super speedy for Melina. 3 white lights, a good lift. Charlotte Worley of New Zealand, opening on 172.5 kilos. And that moved nice and easily. 3 white lights, a good lift. Seeing some really nice openers here. You want something that you can do under any circumstances. If you have to re-rack it, take it quickly. or retake it for any reason, it should be a weight that you're comfortable with.
The ball is loaded for Emily Senland.
177.5 kilos for Amelie Senland of Norway. And that is a good lift.
Coming up next is Kolbrun Jonsdottir from Iceland, trying 180 kilograms.
In an ideal world, there's not much to commentate on openers. We just want them to be nice and easy, drama-free for the girls. Kolbrun Jonsdottir of Iceland, opening on 180 kilos. You can see she has her belt clipped to the side here. Some lifters like to do this to avoid bulk when they're bracing at the front. Some also wear it at the back. And that looks nice and fast. Let's wait to see what the referees say. Just waiting for one final light. I'm sure it feels like a lifetime waiting, but 3 white lights, a good lift. We have just 4 openers remaining before we complete our opening attempts and move through to our second attempts. 182.5 kilos for Harriet Waite of Great Britain. Has been competing for only 1 year, so incredibly strong. And it's moving well. 3 white lights, a good lift.
The ball is loaded.
185 kilos for Maura Howden of Canada. And that is a good lift.
Coming up next is the joint from Great Britain, weighing out 202.5 kilos. The ball is loaded.
Olav Isabodo John of Great Britain, opening on 202.5 kilos. Just 12.5 kilos below her squat PB. Has only been competing for 2 years and has another year left in the juniors. Projected first overall in the 84s. Tipped a little bit there, but I think she's okay. And she is. 3 white lights, a good lift. Just moved it so fast, she lost balance there at the top.
The ball
Our final opening attempt, Listus Ebesele of Ireland, 220 kilos, opening on her current squat PB. This is a huge squat, and it can only go up from here. Wow, and look at that. 3 white lights, a good lift, and moving 220 kilos like it's nothing. We can't say that's not great color coordination as well. That concludes our opening attempts with some huge squats in there. We are moving straight through to second attempts with every lifter getting a good attempt in on the board. Ian Ki Cheong of Singapore, 122.5 kilos. Ooh, and it's a bit of a fight. Just get stuck there in the middle a little bit, and unfortunately a no lift. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. Yeah, just get stuck at that middle point. Has another try of that on her third, of course. 127.5 kilos for Ecem Ozkaliki of Turkey. A 12.5 kilo jump from her opener. Has been competing less than 1 year, her first year in the juniors, and already 2.5 kilos below her squat PB on her second. And unfortunately, 2-1, that's a no lift. There's a depth call from the center and side referee. Let's just have a look at that again here. This is the side she gets the white from. So perhaps the other side just looked a little bit higher. Talor Ayegmeni of Ireland, 165 kilos, a 10 kilo jump from her opener. All the openers we saw were really nice and easy from all the ladies. Lovely and deep. A fantastic looking second attempt. And 3 white lights, a good lift. Just 5 kilos below her squat PB, moving amazingly well. And Tara Jackson of the United States, jumping 10 kilos to 170. 2.5 kilos shy of her squat PB. She works through it, smiles. And 2-1, a good lift. Just gonna say depth call on that right hand side. Camilla Salvarani of Italy, 175 kilos, 3 red plates aside. There are no small squats here. And still moving extremely well. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Lina Høyre coming up next from Norway. The bar is loaded.
Mina Holmefjord of Norway, 180 kilos, a 10 kilo jump from her opener. Still has 3 years left in the juniors. And it's a bit of work, but she stands it up. And 3 white lights, a good lift.
Charlotte Hurley coming up next. The bar is loaded. New Zealand, 180 kilograms.
A 7.5 kilo jump for Charlotte Worley of New Zealand to 180 kilos. And didn't slow down much compared to her opener. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Coming up next is Melina Irabo.
A really nice second attempt there.
The bar is loaded.
Melina Arwa of Great Britain, 185 kilos, a 12.5 kilo jump. Keeps position really nicely. And 3 white lights, a good lift. And that form is going to help her when the weights get heavier.
Emily Sandland coming up next from Norway. The bar is loaded.
Really nice.
187
187.5 kilos for Emily Sandland of Norway. Wow. And that was still super fast. And 2 to 1, a good lift. There's a blue call from the left-hand side referee. Let's have a look at that from that angle in the replay.
192.5.
Can't see any infractions there, so I think she'll be okay. Kolbrun Jonsdottir of Iceland, 192.5 kilos, a 12.5 kilo jump. Small sticking point there in the middle, but still moving really steadily. And 3 white lights, a good lift.
Edward Varte coming up next from the Great Britain, trying out 195 kilograms. The bar is loaded.
195 kilos for Harriet Waite of Great Britain. a 12.5 kilo jump, just 6 kilos below her squat PB. And it's a bit of work, but she stands it up. 3 white lights, a good lift, and makes her face going, I know what went wrong, I can fix it on my third. But nonetheless, it still moved well.
95 kilograms. The bar is loaded.
195 kilos for Maura Howden of Canada. A 10-kilo jump from her opener, taking her into squat bronze for the time being. And it looks good. 3 white lights, a good lift for Maura.
Coming up next is John, trying for a new European juniors record. The bar is loaded. 212.5.
212.5 kilos for Erlov Isabodo John of Great Britain, going for the European junior squat record on her second attempt. A 10-kilo jump from her opener for a European record. Lovely and deep. Works it up. A lovely looking second attempt. 3 white lights and a new European record. Our final second attempt now. We now have Lissus Ebosele of Ireland jumping 15 kilos to 235 for her second attempt. And still lightning fast. 15 kilos did nothing to that. 3 white lights, a good lift. We have some incredibly strong women here this evening. And that concludes our second round of squats, heading into the third. And we have already seen some huge squats. It's worth mentioning that the world junior record in the 84s is 243, held by Amanda Lawrence, and in the 84 plus is 265, held by Luella Bowden, which was grabbed only a few weeks ago in the Cayman Islands. 122.5 kilos for Een Ki Chong of Singapore. And she fights it up this time round. Let's see what the referees say. Unfortunately, just not deep enough. There's a no lift, unfortunately, today.
The bar is loaded. Ece Özçelik, Türkiye.
We now have Ecem Özkeliki of Turkey retaking 127.5 kilos on a third and final attempt. Wow, does incredibly well to fight through that after folding a little bit there. But unfortunately, 2-1, a no lift. Gets a yellow from the center and side referee. We now have Talor Aigbeni of Ireland, 170 kilos for her third and final attempt. And she fights through it, stands it up, loses balance, but still thinks she's okay, actually. And she is. 3 white lights, a good lift. Even through that fight, even through losing balance, still manages to make it a good lift. A great final attempt there.
From the United States of America, tries out 175 kilos. The bar is loaded.
175 kilos for Antara Jackson of the United States. This will be a 2.5 kilo PB for Antara, should she get this. A fantastic fight, and she smiles as she locks it out. Oh, unfortunately, 2-1, a no lift. She got a depth call from one side on her 2 other attempts, but unfortunately got 1 extra one this time. $182.5 kilos for Camilla Salvarani of Italy. 7.5 kilo jump to move her into squat bronze for the time being, with Hommerfjord of Norway to follow. Just been told to re-rack there. She had a similar issue on her first. Just needs to stand more upright. Gets the start command. And is fighting through it. Wow, what a fantastic effort. 2-1, a good lift. Gets a blue from the left-hand side referee. I don't think I saw the bar dip. And I think she'll be okay with that. I think it stopped a couple of times but did not go down. Mina Hommerfjord of Norway, 185 kilos to move herself into squat silver for the time being, as she is lighter than Melina of Great Britain. And she is working through it, but it's just too heavy for her today, unfortunately. Which means Salvarani of Italy will walk away with squat bronze. Charlotte Worley of New Zealand jumped 7.5 kilos to 187.5 to match her squat PB. For her third and final attempt, currently sat in projected third overall. But only on body weight, so it could catch up to Howden for silver. So we'll need the kilos. And she stands it up. She gets those extra kilos. 3 white lights, a good lift. $190 kilos for Melina Arawo of Great Britain. A 5 kilo jump. Has already got squat silver, but to add 5 more kilos to her total. And with room left in the tank, stands it up. Waits for the final light. And it is a good lift. $197.5 kilos for Amelie Senland of Norway. A 10 kilo jump from her second to take her into squat silver for the time being. Her second was very quick. And so was her third. Three white lights, a good lift. And she seems surprised, even though it moved at an RP 6 maybe. $200 kilos for Harriet Waite of Great Britain. The next 5 lifters will be squatting 200 kilos and above, just to show you the quality of lifting we have this evening. And works through the sticking point so well. Even better than her second. 3 white lights, a good lift. A fantastic third attempt from Harriet there. And that moved her into silver squat position, pushing Senland into bronze. For now, Kolbrun Jonsdottir of Iceland has jumped 10 kilos to 202.5, looking to push Harriet Waite to bronze and Senland off of the podium for squat. And she fights through it. Wow, an incredible fight from Kolbrun. 3 white lights, a good lift, and so well deserved. And that puts her in squat silver, pushing Waite down to bronze and Senland out of the medals. Now one more lifter can shake things up here. We have Maura Howden of Canada, jumping to 202.5 kilos and is the lighter of her and Jonsdottir. So we'll push Jonsdottir to bronze, take silver, and push Harriet Waite of Great Britain out of the medals for squats. And works through it. Let's see what the referees say. 2-1, a good lift. Just gets called on depth from the right-hand side, and the jury are reviewing it. But it looks like they may be leaving it as a good lift. So she walks away with squat silver. We now have Olav Isobodo John of Great Britain, broke the European squat record on her second, looking to extend that by 5 kilos now on her third. 217.5 kilos. A big final squat. She is fighting. She is so close, but unfortunately can't get through that sticking point today. A fantastic effort. And she is emotional, but she should still walk away with her head held high. Taking the European junior record is an incredible feat, especially so new to the sport. We have one squat remaining, and I promise you it's a big one. Especially as you know it's coming from Listus. 245 kilos for Listus Ebusele of Ireland. This is for a European junior squat record. A 10-kilo jump from her second, which moved like air. Oh, unfortunately, not quite there today for Listus. Just couldn't get through that sticking point. But still walks away with a massive 235-kilo squat and squat gold, and still with a 90-kilo lead on her competition. We're going to head into a 20-minute break now. Very quickly, in the 84-kilo junior class, Olav of Great Britain walks away with squat gold, Melina of Great Britain with squat silver, and Camilla of Italy in squat bronze. And in the 84 pluses, we have Listus walking away with squat gold, Mora of Canada in silver, and Kolbrun of Iceland in bronze. Don't go anywhere. We will catch you for bench press in 20 minutes.
The bench press is the second movement performed in a powerlifting competition. It's a movement that mainly uses upper body strength. A slight back arch is authorized and allows for a stronger and healthier shoulder positioning. Laying down on the bench, the athlete has to create points of contact between his head, shoulder, glutes, and the bench. His feet has to lay flat on the ground, with the heels in the contact with the floor. Once that position is locked, the central referee gives the start command. The lifter lowers the bar until it touches his chest. The lower underside of both of his elbow joints have to be at level or below the top surface of each shoulder joint. He then has to stabilize the bar for the referee to give him the press command. The lifter has to push the bar back up until the complete extension of his elbows. The central referee gives the rack command and the lift is completed.
There are 4 main reasons to have a no lift on that movement. First, if you're not able to fully extend your elbows at the beginning and at the end of the movement. Second, if you don't touch the chest with the bar, or if your elbows don't go at level or below the top of your shoulder joint. Third, if you're not able to maintain all points of contact with the bench, knowing the head, the shoulders, and the butt. Fourth, if the lift isn't completed in a single upward movement.
Hello and welcome back to the 2023 IPF World Classic Sub-Junior and Junior Powerlifting Championships here in Cluj-Napoca, Romania. I'm Amelia Potter and this evening we have the 84 and 84 plus kilo women, the juniors, and we can see the running order as it stands here heading into bench. It is a flight of 14 athletes and we have some huge numbers coming up for you. Kicking us off, we have Ian Ki Chong of Singapore opening on 55 kilos. Nice, easy looking opener. And 2 to 1, a good lift. Gets a depth call from the left-hand side. So let's have a look at her left elbow. I think she'll be okay with that. So when we say depth in terms of elbows on bench, this is a new rule as of this year, and the elbow joint must be parallel or below the middle of the shoulder joint. We have Ecem Ozkaliki of Turkey, 65 kilos. Now it moved really nicely. 2 to 1, a good lift. She gets a yellow from the center referee. I think she just skipped the start command ever so slightly. I think she's all right there. 65 kilos for Talor Aigbeni of Ireland. Seven and a half kilos below her bench press PB. There's a nice easy looking opener and a good lift. 72.5 kilos for Kolbrun Jonsdottir of Iceland. And moving just 2.5 kilos below her bench press PB with ease.
Heavyweight athlete from Great Britain coming up next. Tries out 85 kilograms. The bar is loaded.
85 kilos on the bar for Harriet Waite of Great Britain. Just 5 kilos below her bench press PB. Wow, lightning fast. 3 white lights, a good lift. I imagine a relatively big jump from Harriet there with the way that that moved. $87.5 kilos for Camilla Savarani of Italy. Walked away with squat bronze. And 2-1, a no lift, unfortunately. Gets reds from either side referee, which indicates that it's for elbow depth. Unfortunately, that's a no lift. The jury don't seem to be overturning it. Amalie Senland of Norway, 90 kilos for her opening attempt. Wow, super easy for Amalie. Ooh, but unfortunately 2-1, a no lift. Gets called for elbow depth from each side referee. And the jury seem to be discussing it, but are not overturning it, unfortunately. 92.5 kilos for Erlav Isabodo John of Great Britain. That was nice and fast, and if that wasn't elbow depth, I don't know what is. 3 white lights, a good lift. We now have 95 kilos for Maura Howden of Canada, just 5 kilos below her bench press PB. And that was easy work for Maura. 3 white lights, a good lift. These all seem like good numbers as openers. None of them have looked difficult for the lifters. That's exactly where you want to be. 100 kilos for Mina Holmefjord of Norway. And it moves well. 2 to 1, a good lift. Gets an elbow depth call from the left-hand side referee. So let's just watch the replay for that left elbow to see if it's a little bit high. Luckily she gets 2 white lights in there, so it's a good lift. Charlotte Worley of New Zealand, opening on 105 kilos. Just half a kilo below her bench press PB, which I imagine is a record in New Zealand in the juniors. And it's moving well. 2 to 1, a no lift, unfortunately. Gets called on elbow depth from each side referee. Let's look at that in the replay. A lot of lifters getting called for elbow depth in this session, it seems. And the coach goes to the jury, but is sent away, unfortunately. And Tara Jackson of the United States, 107.5 kilos for her opening attempt. Just asking the spotter for a handout there. Has a bench press PB of 125 kilos. And that was a nice easy weight for Antara. Three white lights, a good lift. Melina Arrowo of Great Britain, 112.5 kilos. Her bench press PB is 123 kilos, a British record. And moving nice and easily. Three white lights, a good lift. Our final bench press attempt now in the openers. Listus Ebosele of Ireland, 137.5 kilos. A huge opener. And it is easy weight. But unfortunately, 3 reds. Gets called on elbow depth from all 3 referees. Now let's look at that at the replay. All I can say there is the weight is clearly easy, and I'm hoping that she can convince them on the next bench that is deep enough. We move through to second round of benches now with 4 lifters without a bench press in, all called on elbow depth. Let's hope they can get it in this time round. In Ki Chong of Singapore, 57.5 kilos. Still moving nice and fast there. And unfortunately, 2-1, a no lift gets called on elbow depth from both side referees.
Coming up next is Ecem Özçelik from Turkey, trying 70 kilograms. The bar is ready.
We now have Ecem Özçelik of Turkey, 70 kilos. This is a 5-kilo jump from her opener. And it is work, but manages to look it out. And 3 white lights, a good lift.
Coming up next is Dalil Ayakbeni, Ireland, trying 70 kilograms. The bar is ready.
70 kilos for Talor Ayagbeni of Ireland. A 5-kilo jump from her opener. A good fight. And 2-1, a good lift. Gets a yellow call from the right-hand side referee. We now have 77.5 kilos for Kolbrun Jonsdottir of Iceland, a 5-kilo jump from her opener. Already 2.5 kilos above her PB if she gets this. Oh, and it's a fight, but actually works through it pretty well. 3 white lights, a good lift. Now we have Camilla Savarani of Italy. Missed 87.5 kilos on her opener for elbow depth. Looking to get it again now. Is retaking the same weight, which is the sensible option. And still nice and easy, and it should be. It's her opener. 2-1, a good lift this time round. Still gets an elbow depth call from the right-hand side referee. So let's look at that on the replay. But this time she gets the bench in. We now have Amelie Senland of Norway in a similar position. Missed her opener for elbow depth. Retaking it now on her second. That was nice and easy still. 3 white lights, a good lift this time round. Has a bench on the board. $90 kilos now for Harriet Waite of Great Britain. A 5 kilo jump from her opener. And still moving nice and easy. 2 to 1, a good lift. Gets a yellow from the center referee. And I'm not too sure what that's for, so I'm just going to look here on the replay. But I can't see any lift, and she didn't skip the command, so I think she's okay. 97.5 kilos for Erlov Isibodo John of Great Britain. A 5 kilo jump from her opener and a matched bench press PB. Three white lights, a good lift. Maura Howden of Canada jumps 7.5 kilos to 102.5. Currently sat in bench press gold with Ebosele and Worley without a bench press in yet. And that looks good from here. Ooh, unfortunately, 2 to 1, a no lift. A depth call from the left-hand side. And I'm not too sure what the yellow is for still from that center referee. I think maybe her head seemed to lift a little bit off there, unfortunately. We now have Mina Holmefjord of Norway. 105 kilos, a 5 kilo jump from her opener. And it's a bit of work, but manages to lock it out. And 3 white lights, a good lift. We now have Charlotte Worley of New Zealand. Missed 105 on her opener for elbow depth. Let's hope she can follow in the footsteps of the other two athletes who were in that position and managed to get their second in. And again, looks nice and easy. Looked better. Let's see what the referees say. 3 white lights, a good lift. And gets her bench in. $115 kilos for Antara Jackson of the United States. 7.5 kilo jump from her opener, moving her into bench press gold for the time being, with Melina of Great Britain to follow. Good fight there. And 3 white lights, a good lift. Just 2 second attempts remaining before we move through to the third and final attempts. Melina Arawo of Great Britain, 117.5 kilos. A 5 kilo jump from her opener to move her back into bench press gold. Still nice and easy. And 3 white lights, a good lift. Now, our last lifter without a bench press in, Listus Ebosele of Ireland, missed 137.5 on her opener for elbow depth. Let's hope she can get this in her second and secure a bench press. She would already take bench press gold if she just gets this one in. And that definitely looked to depth. Let's see what the referees say about this one. 3 white lights, a good lift. Gets a bench press on the board. And that concludes the second round of bench, with everybody now having a bench press on the board. Thank goodness. We move through to the third attempts. We have Ian Kee Cheong of Singapore, 57.5 kilos. Missed it on her second. Looking to get it now on her third. Again, looks nice and easy. Let's see what the referees say. 3 white lights, a good lift. And that was a 2.5 kilo PB for her.
from Ireland, trying
72.5 kilos for Talor Ayegbeni of Ireland. 2.5 kilo jump, and this would match her bench press PB. Oh, she's fighting, but it's just too heavy today, unfortunately, for Talor. Ecem Ozkaliki of Turkey, 75 kilos, a 5 kilo jump from her second. Oh, it's a big fight, but it's just too heavy today, unfortunately. And I think if she pushed through, it would have been in vain, I'm afraid, because it bar did dip. So I think it's good that she stopped pushing through, saved the energy for deadlifts. Kolbrun Jonsdottir of Iceland, 82.5 kilos, a 5 kilo jump from her second, and a new personal best should she get this. Ooh, unfortunately, not there today. Just a bit too heavy. $92.5 kilos for Camilla Savarani of Italy. A 5-kilo jump from her second. Missed her opener on elbow depth. Got it on her second. And looking to add 5 kilos to her total. And it's work. Oh, unfortunately, just too heavy. $95 kilos for Harriet Waite of Great Britain. This will move her into bench press bronze for the time being, with Sendland and Worley to follow. And again, it still moves really well for Harriet. 3 white lights, a good lift.
The ball is now loaded for Amalia Sendland from Norway. She's weighing about 97.5 kilos.
$97.5 kilos for Amalie Sendland of Norway. And although first overall is pretty secured by Listus, second and third is up for grabs. So every kilo counts. A 7.5 kilo jump from her second. And that is fantastic. Is able to make up some ground after missing her opener on an account of elbow depth. 2-1, a good lift. Gets called for elbow depth from that left side referee. But I think she'll be all right with that. Olav Isabodo John of Great Britain, 100 kilos. A big milestone bench for Olav should she get this. A 2.5 kilo jump from her second. And it looked easy for her. She waits for the referee's lights. 3 white lights, a good lift. A big milestone hitting 100 kilos. $102.5 kilos for Maura Howden of Canada. This will move her into bronze medal for bench in the 84 pluses. Ahead of Sendland of Norway. And that still moved nice and easy. Let's see what the referees say. 3 white lights this time, a good lift. Mina Homefjord of Norway, 107.5 kilos. Already has bronze in bench press, looking to add 2.5 kilos to her total. And manages to fight it up. What a fantastic effort. And it is a good lift. We have just 4 bench presses remaining before we head into a 20-minute break before deadlifts. And first up we have Charlotte Worley of New Zealand, 110 kilos. Missed 105 on her opener for elbow depth. Got it on her second and is jumping 5 kilos now for a 4.5 kilo PB. Already has bench press silver. And she locks it out. A fantastic third attempt. 3 white lights, a good lift. And gets those needed kilos she's going to want to have in deadlift to stay in third overall, ahead of Sendland. And Tara Jackson of the United States, 117.5 kilos to move into gold in bench press ahead of Melina Arawo of Great Britain. She smiles and nods. A great last attempt and a good lift. She moves into bench press gold for the time being, and that can only be taken away from her by Melina should she make her next bench press attempt. And speaking of which, Melina Arawa of Great Britain, 122.5 kilos, just half a kilo below her British record. This will move her back into bench press gold. And with kilos left to spare, 3 white lights, a good lift. She skips off smiling, and so she should. She walks away with bench press gold in the 84s. Our final bench press attempt, Listus Ebosele of Ireland, 142.5 kilos. Missed her opener on elbow depth, got it on her second, and now jumps 5 kilos to a huge 142.5 kilo bench press attempt. And it looks easy for her. That is a lot of weight in her hands. 2 to 1, a good lift. I'm not even going to mention the red. And what a fantastic end to bench press. And very quickly before we head into deadlifts, Melina Arawa of Great Britain walks away with gold in bench in the 84s, and Tara Jackson of the United States in silver, Mina Holmefjord of Norway in bronze. In the 84 pluses, Listus Ebosele of Ireland walks away with bench gold, Charlotte Worley of New Zealand in bench silver, and Maura Howden of Canada in bench bronze. Now we can see the subtotals as they stand heading into deadlifts, with Erlov of Great Britain leading the 84s, with Melina right behind her on her tail. And in the 84 pluses, with a big lead, we have Listus Ebosele of Ireland. We will be heading into a 20-minute break now before deadlifts. Don't go anywhere.
The deadlift is the last movement of the powerlifting competition. On that movement, the lifter's whole body is used and put to the test. The athlete approaches the bar once the central referee calls bar loaded. He then has 1 minute
To start the lift.
In the conventional or sumo position, the athlete has to pull the barbell until his shoulders, hips, and knees are fully locked. Once that position is assumed by the lifter, the central referee will give the down command. The bar has to be lowered to the ground without the lifter being allowed to drop it until it touches the floor, which completes the lift. At the end of deadlift, the powerlifting total is made, which determines the winner and final placings. There are 4 main mistakes to avoid. First, not locking your shoulders, hips, or knees at the end of the movement. Second, not completing the lift with a single upward bar movement. Third, completing the lift hitching at the legs in order to allow you to do so. Fourth, dropping the bar after the central referee down command.
Hello and welcome back to the 2023 IPF World Classic Sub-Junior and Junior Powerlifting Championships here in Cluj-Napoca, Romania. I'm Amelia Potter, and this evening for you we have the 84 and 84 plus junior women. We are now heading into the deadlifts, and here are the subtotals as they stand as we move into our deadlifts. With every successful deadlift we see, they secure themselves a total. And first to attempt to do so, we have Ian Ki Cheong of Singapore, 132.5 kilos. Now look nice and easy. That is a good lift, and she secures herself a total. You can just grow and build from here. We now have Ecem Oshileki of Turkey, 140 kilos. And that is a good lift. Camilla Salvarani of Italy, 165 kilos. And that was nice and speedy. 3 white lights, a good lift. It's well worth opening light, especially on your deadlifts. Just to secure that total, make a slightly bigger jump and build and grow from there. $175 kilos for Mina Homafjord of Norway. And that did not cause her any issues whatsoever. 3 white lights, a good lift. 175 stays on the bar for Kolbrun Jonsdottir of Iceland, 5 kilos below her deadlift PB. Tiny bit of trouble at lockout there, but manages to do so. And 3 white lights, a good lift. $175 for Talor Ayegbeni of Ireland. Nice, easy looking opener for Talor. 3 white lights, a good lift. And walks off with confidence. $175 kilos for Harriet Waite of Great Britain. And just like her bench opener, very snappy. 3 white lights, a good lift. $180 kilos for Amelie Senland of Norway. 8 kilos below her deadlift PB. A Norwegian national record, I'm sure. And wow, very easy for her. 3 white lights, a good lift. Maura Howden of Canada, 187.5 kilos. Just 5 kilos below her deadlift PB. Projected in silver overall for the time being. On body weight, slightly lighter than Worley of New Zealand. And 3 white lights, a good lift. Yeah, it's really close towards the top there. Just 2.5 kilos between second and fourth in the 84 plus. And only 5 kilos between second and fifth. Charlotte Worley of New Zealand, 195 kilos for her opener. And that was nice and quick. 3 white lights, a good lift. And a sigh of relief, securing that total. Never fully at ease until you've secured that total on deadlift. And Tara Jackson of the United States, 197.5 kilos. And looking good. 3 white lights, a good lift for Antara. $200 kilos for Lisses Ebesele of Ireland. This will secure her total and her win. And does it with ease. 2-1, a good lift. Gets called from the right-hand side referee for insufficient lockout. But I think she'll be okay there. Melina Irowo of Great Britain, 202.5 kilos for her opening deadlift. And moving nice and speedy, 20 kilos below her deadlift PB. 3 white lights, a good lift for Melina. We move now onto our final opening attempt. We have Olaf Isobodo John of Great Britain, 230 kilos. 20 kilos below her deadlift PB of 250. The world junior deadlift record is 252.5, held by Amanda Lawrence. And that is so easy. 3 white lights, a good lift. And puts her in a really exciting place there. You're going to see some big deadlifts tonight. And that concludes our opening attempts of deadlifts, with everybody getting a deadlift on the board and securing their total. We move through to second attempts now. And kicking us off, we have Ian Ki Cheong of Singapore, jumping 5 kilos to 137.5. For her second attempt, already just 2.5 kilos below her deadlift PB. That looked nice and sturdy. 3 white lights, a good lift. Some more great color coordination there with the hair to singlet. I love the commitment. Ecem Ozkaliki of Turkey, a 7.5 kilo jump to 147.5. Fresh into the juniors, 19 years old. And 3 white lights, that is a good lift. $175 kilos for Camilla Salvarani of Italy, a 10 kilo jump from her opener and 10 kilos below her deadlift PB. Still moving really nicely there. And that is a good lift, 2-1. It's called for blue from the right-hand side referee. Let's have a look at that, the replay. I think she gets called for hitching, but it just bounced on her leg, so I think she'll be okay. 185 kilos for Talor Ayegbeni of Ireland, a 10 kilo jump from her opener. And still moving really nicely there in the second. 3 white lights, a good lift. 187.5 kilos for Mina Holmenfjord. And that is a good lift. Adds 12.5 kilos to her total.
Trying 190 kilograms. The bar is double.
190 kilos for Kolbrun Jonsdottir of Iceland. A 15 kilo jump from her opener. Having a little bit of trouble at lockout there. Unfortunately, couldn't quite lock it out. Perhaps a little bit too heavy, but she does have a third attempt where she can attempt it. Moves really nicely up until she gets to the point of lockout. Struggles to get her hips through. 192.5 kilos for Harriet Waite of Great Britain. A big jump from her opener. 17.5 kilos. Barely slows her down. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Coming up next from Norway, tries 195. The bar is double.
195 kilos for Amelie Senland of Norway. A 15 kilo jump from her opener. Trying to sneak up on Howden of Canada. Ooh. Yeah, unfortunately didn't get the down command. I think she just tipped and lost balance at the top. The strength is very clearly there. So now they're in a position whether they should retake or go up. And I think in this opportunity, actually it is worth more to go up since they're in a fight for the podium. Maura Howden of Canada, 197.5 kilos, a 10 kilo jump from her opener. This will be a 5 kilo deadlift PB. Currently sat in silver place overall. Managed to lock it out. 3 white lights, a good lift. And we are moving fast through deadlifts, so don't go anywhere. Don't even get up to get a drink of water, because you'll miss it. And Tara Jackson of the United States, 205 kilos for her second attempt. And 3 white lights, that is a good lift. And Tara Jackson currently sat in bronze place overall. Charlotte Worley of New Zealand jumps 12.5 kilos to 207.5 for her second deadlift. Just 3 kilos below her deadlift record. And it's still moving really nicely. 3 white lights and plenty left in the tank. That moves her into silver place overall in the 84 plus. And it's a tight race for podium in the 84 plus. Melina Irawa of Great Britain, 212.5 kilos, a 10 kilo jump from her opener. This will move her into deadlift silver, already holding silver overall by a considerable amount. It's looking good. 3 white lights, a good lift.
The bar is loaded, 212.5 kilograms.
212.5 kilos for Listas Ebesele of Ireland. This will move her back into gold for deadlifts. And it is easy, plenty left in the tank. 3 white lights, a good lift. We have just one deadlift remaining before we move to third and final attempts. Erlov Isobodo John of Great Britain, 240 kilos, just 12.5 kilos below Amanda Lawrence's world junior deadlift record. And still lightning speed for Erlov there. 3 white lights and a good lift. What an exciting deadlift we have there. And I can't wait to see what she puts on for her third. Just to remind you, that's 12.5 kilos below Amanda Lawrence's deadlift record, which has been held since 2019. We now move on to third and final attempts. In Ki Chong of Singapore, 140 kilos. This will match her deadlift PB if she gets this. A nice looking third attempt. She smiles at the top. And 3 white lights, a good lift for Chong. Ecem Özkalıcı of Turkey, 155 kilos for her third and final attempt. Oh, and she is fighting it up. Can she lock it out? She pulls her hips through. Very impressive. Let's see what the referees say. And unfortunately gets called for hitching from 2 of the referees and insufficient lockout from the third. But a valiant effort. 187.5 kilos for Camilla Savarani of Italy. A 12.5 kilo jump from her second. This will be a 2.5 kilo PB for Camilla should she get this. Strong end to the day. She is trying to lock it out, and I think she managed it. 2-1, a good lift. A blue from the right-hand side. But I think she'll be okay there. It was a great fight. She didn't let the bar drop. She didn't pull up her thighs. And it's a good lift. 190 kilos for Mina Holmefjord of Norway. Wow, a wonderful third attempt. Her knees lock out and then she locks out her shoulders. 3 white lights, a good lift. Does incredibly well to keep pulling that through. ...190 kilos for Kolbrun Jonsdottir of Iceland. Missed it on her second at lockout. Looking to reattempt it now on her third. It moved really well up until lockout. So let's see if she can finish it off this time round for a 10 kilo personal best. And speedy up until lockout again. Does she lock it out? 2-1, a good lift. Manages to lock it out. And a big hug to the coach there. A huge PB. And that's so lovely to see. ...197.5 kilos for Talor Ayegbeni of Ireland. A 12.5 kilo jump from her second to move her into deadlift bronze for the time being. Just half a kilo below her deadlift PB. And it's moving, but unfortunately it's just not there today for her. But a fantastic effort and a great day of lifting. ...197.5 kilos for Harriet Waite of Great Britain. A 5 kilo jump to pull her into deadlift bronze for the time being. Wow, a fantastic effort from Harriet. 3 white lights, a good lift. And a huge final pull there. Amalie Senland of Norway now. Didn't quite get 195 on her second. Has gone up anyway to 200 kilos in an attempt to pull her into deadlift bronze for the time being. And it's still super speedy. Let's see what they say about this lockout. Oh, unfortunately, still a no lift for Amalie. Let's have a look at that in the replay. Yeah, unfortunately the bar went down there a little bit. But a fantastic effort nonetheless. 202.5 kilos for Maura Howden of Canada. This will pull her into deadlift bronze, but more importantly, from bronze overall into silver for the time being. And it's moving. She Can she lock it out? It looks like she can. 2-1, a good lift, and she pulls herself into deadlift bronze and silver overall. But we wait on Worley of New Zealand to see if she will pull for silver. First up, we have Antara Jackson of the United States. 210 kilos, a 5-kilo jump. Already walking away with deadlift bronze and bronze overall. This will take her to a 497.5 total. Finish the day off strong. And unfortunately, too heavy for her today, but she still walks away with bronze overall and bronze in the deadlift. A fantastic day for Jackson. We just have 4 deadlifts remaining. And I think you can guess who's next by the roar of the crowd. Charlotte Worley of New Zealand, 212.5 kilos. To take her into silver overall in the 84 pluses from bronze. Ahead of Howden of Canada. This is a 5-kilo jump from her second. It looked good. Can she maintain it here on her third? To walk away with silver. It's moving. Can she lock it out? It looks like she does. But what do the referees say? 3 white lights, a good lift, and she walks away with the silver medal overall and silver in deadlift. $217.5 kilos for Melina Irawo of Great Britain. Already in silver in deadlifts and silver overall. This will bring her to a 530 total. A massive result for Melina. Let's finish the day off strong. And a perfect last pull for Melina. 3 white lights, a good lift, and a fantastic day of lifting. We now have Listus Ebosele of Ireland. She has squat gold, she has bench gold, she already has deadlift gold, she has gold overall. She is King Midas. Everything she touches turns to gold. 222.5 kilos per third and final pull. Oh, and unfortunately just drops it on grip there, but still walks away with 4 gold medals. Still a fantastic day of lifting for Listus, and so much more to come. Now we have 1 deadlift remaining. And it is for the world junior record, taking it away from Amanda Lawrence, the deadlift queen herself. Will we have a new queen? We will find out very soon. 253 kilos for Erlov Isobodo John of Great Britain to take the deadlift record away from Amanda Lawrence. She wants calm in the room. This is for the world junior deadlift record. And she locks it out with ease. With so many kilos left to go, she takes Amanda Lawrence's deadlift record, 253 kilos for the 22-year-old. What an amazing final pull, and I think she could have had anything on that bar and pulled it if she needed. What an exciting session. And very quickly in the 84 kilo junior class, Erlov of Great Britain walks away with deadlift gold, Melina of Great Britain with deadlift silver, and Antara Jackson of the United States in bronze. In the 84 plus, we have Listus Ebosele of Ireland in gold in deadlifts, Charlotte Worley of New Zealand in silver, and Maura Howden of Canada in bronze. And overall, in first in the 84 kilo class, Erlov. In second, we have Melina, and in third, we have Antara. In the 84 plus, in gold, walks away Listus. In silver, Charlotte of New Zealand. And in bronze, we have Maura of Canada. An incredible show of lifting this evening. And what a way to finish the lifting for the women, this championships. Thank you for tuning in. We will head to the medal ceremony now. Don't go anywhere.
Palage are distributing the medals, if I can say so. And now let's get down to business, starting with squats, 84 kilograms juniors, and beginning with the third place that goes for Italy, Camilla Saviani. Second is Great Britain, Melina Iraho. And the gold also heads for Great Britain, Erholo Isobodo. Great job, you girls. Moving on now to bench press, the third place goes for Norway, Nina Bogafjord. Second is from the United States of America, Antara Jackson. And the gold heads for Great Britain, Melina Iraho. Thank you. Moving on now to deadlift. The third place goes to the United States, Antara Jackson. Melina Iraho from the Great Britain is second. And the gold heads to Erholo Isobodo John, Great Britain. Thank you, you were great. Moving on now to totals, and starting with the third place from the United States of America is Antara Jackson. Second comes from Great Britain, Melina Iraho. And the gold heads for the king, Great Britain, Erholo Isobodo John. Now please rise for Great Britain's national anthem.
Everybody, please.
Great Britain, number one in totals, congratulations, Erholo Isobodo John. Coming up next, 84 kilograms and plus juniors, beginning with squats. The third place goes to Kolbrun Rosdottir, Iceland. Canada had second, Nora Howden. And the gold goes to Ireland, Lisbeth Rosell. Thank you very much. Moving on now to bench press. The third place goes to Canada, Nora Howden. Charlotte Norway from New Zealand comes second. on to deadlift. The third place goes to Laura Howden, Canada. Second is Charlotte Corley, New Zealand. And Ireland is first, this is Roselle. Great job. And moving on to totals, the third place goes to Canada, Nora Howden. Charlotte Corley from New Zealand is second. Now let us rise for Ireland's national anthem.
Please be so kind to Treasury